Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Surfers. And the distractions are ramping right up. And as we went into yesterday, we have to change the way that we think to have a material difference in the world, whether you like that or not. We're here for the causal factors. We're here to talk about what's actually real, the objective truth. May not be pretty, but, you know, this is... I think part of this is like hard to clasp onto. When you say like, oh, do shadow work or change your thoughts, it's like, okay, bro, whatever, click on the next video. But shit is spiraling downwards real fast. We are in the age of the great retardation. And so wanted to get into spitting some fire today. Spitting some real fire. Well, this is from 5 months ago, this video we're about to get into. Mark Passio, Black Earth Productions, Sethicus Boza. They both cop a fair bit of shit. Fuck that. And even in this movement, or whatever you want to call it, Sethicus Boza catches a fair few strays. I've had a session with him before, a number of years ago. I was happy with the value exchange. Wow, he charges for his work. Wow. All the poverty consciousness crowd, they all start jumping up and down and going on about selling magic rocks or some shit. This house is full of large crystals. So, whatever. I've got a fair bit to say. This isn't a love and light video. This is going to be fiery. So, let's get into it.
World War III, as it states. And this is their quotes. This is coming straight from the dark-hearted motherfuckers that have assumed authority, that have assumed power in this fucking realm. It states, the Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by lesser agents of the Dark Priest class. And in context to that, this is the actual fucking vampires, given over to the actual history, the true core history, things I've also touched upon. So, starting again here. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by lesser agents of the Dark Priest class, the actual vampires themselves. This specifically, with the political Zionists and political leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, in terms of the Muslim Arabic world, along with political Zionism, in terms of the state of Israel, mutually destroy and annihilate one another. Meanwhile, nations across the world divided on these issues, which we can clearly see they are. They will constrain to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and potential economic exhaustion. Those that are pulled into this meat grinder, indoctrinated with Christianity, along with the increased propaganda directed by political Zionism, with Islamic invasions across the world, are how World War III begins. Now, before I continue with the rest of it, Mark, I want you to jump in right away in terms of that and just give me your take on what I just shared.
Sethicus, I want to thank you for bringing me on the show today, and it's always a pleasure. For those who are familiar with my work, the events that are taking place are no surprise. The only surprise is that people still continue to fall for this nonsense dialectic, that the sorcerers that we're talking about, let's face it, you refer to them as vampires. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. They're definitely life energy sucking parasites. They're saying right in their own writings, the dark priest class is manipulating the events. They're literally so emboldened. Even back then, they were so emboldened. They felt they could come right out and write this thing right out to the public, and it would not matter. They can communicate their ideas between each other in this dark occult priest class openly. They didn't even feel like they had to hide it. That is how much control these people have over the human mind, and I feel that they are absolutely correct. Look at the absolute idiots that analyze the whole political dynamic that's taking place in the world today. They are the lost. Think that the answer even lies in the political realm or the financial realm for that matter, or even in the technological realm.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up today, because there's a lot of destruction, and I'm not even going to mention it, but yeah, there's a lot of destruction going on politically right now. There are serious issues, but there's a lot of podcasting, political quackery stuff going on.
It's not political, it's not financial, it's not technological, it's not agricultural. There's only one solution, and it's a spiritual solution. It's a solution that is derived from self-knowledge. It is a solution that is derived from intelligence, a solution that is derived from true education, from true morality, speaking out and saying no to evil, and creating something that is good in the world by what we are going to speak out into the world.
Right. But I've got to push back on this somewhat. Once you're doing it, how are you doing it? How are you doing that when all your shit is shut down? By what means are you speaking out when, in Australia we've just introduced the under 16 social media bills, and we've got digital ID, and we've got all this stuff. This bullshit, fake decentralized technology, or going to a new platform. What are you going to do it on?
How we are going to teach our young, how we are going to re-educate ourselves for those of us who have bought into nonsensical, false religious dogma and other religious nonsense, and for those of us who still believe in the absolute garbage idea, the absolute untruth and immoral idea of human authority, that there are some people who have authority over other people. It's absolute mental madness. It is absolute psychological, pure psychological disease that anyone in this world today, with all of the information that is available unto us, still actually believes that the concept of some people having authority over other people can ever be moral. The solutions that they propose in that political realm, in that whole realm of slavery, which is what all politics is, it's what all government is, it's what all authority is. If you're claiming authority over another being, you are claiming ownership of another being. If you're claiming you can regulate another being's behavior if they're not hurting anybody else, you're claiming to own them. If you claim prohibition over another being of what they can put in their body, you're claiming ownership on the body. If you're saying you have to get license from me to perform some type of an action, that's ownership. It's a claim of ownership over anybody. Any fucking moron living that is alive and breathing today that can't realize that any claim of authority is a claim of ownership on another being, and therefore saying that you're their rightful slave owner, is a fucking retard. They're fucking retarded people. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people with no logical capability left in their mind, because it's been completely bred out of them. It's been completely destroyed out of their mindset through religion. Right. When I use the term religion in any of my work, I'm not talking about just the big three. I'm not just talking about Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. I'm talking about any idea that is completely divergent from the truth, that is completely divergent from nature, that people fervently believe in and stay egotistically locked to. That is what religion is. So the idea of authority is religion. The idea of government is religion. Total love of money is religion. There's all kinds of religions floating out there. As a matter of fact, that's what has to be understood. That this is what this dark priest class does. If you want to know what the dark priest class that runs the world does, you want to know what the dark occultists do, they invent religions. They say, how can we give these fucking idiots, these moronic sheep, the next garbage idea to believe in fervently and willing to kill and die for, that has nothing whatsoever to do with reality, truth, and nature? Zero, 100% zero to do with nature and reality. That is what this priest class does.
As far as I'm concerned, it's all designed to get people to try and escape reality instead of understanding our responsibility in terms of incarnation and what it means to master being human in this motherfucking realm.
That's right.
All these things that we know, you're talking about government, religion, all these things were designed to strip us from our very fucking souls, our connection to nature and the universe, let alone one another. On and on and on, these motherfuckers go about the law of one and all this fucking new age bullshit. You're not even one
Yeah, fuck those David Wilcock fucktards too.
with yourself.
That's
You
right.
don't
Guy
even know
TV,
that self,
scam.
motherfuckers. And that's the fucking problem. Yes, the solution is spiritual. It all goes back to higher consciousness capacity and igniting core intelligence to even know the difference, to see the shit that
He uses core intelligence, that's fine. I really like George Kavassos' Heart Soul Essence.
we're talking about for over the last fucking decade, 20 fucking years now.
Absolutely
You know what
true.
pisses me off? Those in network that think they fucking know, they still don't fucking know, and caught up into the fucking meat grinder in context to everything that I just mentioned about this fucking quote that was given forth by the fucking Dark Priest class. They're not even fucking addressing this shit, man.
It's amazing how many people, even within the so-called freedom movement, the so-called circles of freedom, the people that say that they want freedom, these are people who just want a limited scope of freedom for them. They don't really care if all of humanity is free. They just want their financial freedom. They want their economic freedom. They want their political freedom. They're not interested in true human freedom. I'm wearing a Porkfest t-shirt, right? I just came back from Porkfest. It was a good time.
I did a video on this about living up on a mountain, and all that kind of thing, because it is the point that I was making there is my freedom versus collective freedom.
Family oriented.
Certainly triggered some.
And there's a lot of educational programs going on there. But I said while I did an interview out there, how many people, if you really asked them, if you went and did like a person on the street interview and you said to them, what is the governing dynamic of human freedom? Is there one dynamic that freedom is hinged upon, that without that, it falls apart, and with it, it grows? Is there one governing dynamic of human freedom? There's a correct answer if you ask somebody, what's the governing dynamic of human freedom in the aggregate for the whole species? There is a correct answer. I did an interview with Aaron Day while I was out there. I actually just posted it, on my website and social media. And how many people even there at a freedom festival, at a festival dedicated to the idea of being free, I said it would probably be under 1% of people, and the people that do get the answer correct would probably have learned it from me. And the answer is morality. And I mean true morality, not the garbage notions of religious morality, which I'm going to absolutely annihilate today.
In terms of morality, true morality, what do you conceive in terms of the concept of moral terror? The concept of moral terror and how moral motherfucking terror is necessary in terms of what we're actually up against here.
Well, the first thing I'd like to delineate is there's a gigantic difference between objective morality in nature versus any form of religious morality. And this is the exact reason. Let me try to unfold this in a very stepwise logical progression for people who are slow on the uptake, because there's a lot of those people out there even in our community. Here's how it works. Only true morality can ever lead to freedom. That's natural law, period. There's a dynamic in the universe that is placed in the universe by the Creator that says, if the consciousness of the universe, when it becomes mature enough to be able to distinguish between actions that are harmful to others versus actions that are not harmful to others, becomes mature, then it gets to direct its evolutionary course in consciousness. Biological evolution gets us up to a certain point, and then intelligence, holistic intelligence, has to take over the reins of evolutionary progression from there. And this is the dynamic that guides it. Either beings in the aggregate of any given community anywhere in the universe Understand the objective laws of morality, which is natural law. It's the behavioral governing dynamics that have to do with our behavior and whether they are truly objectively moral or not. If they are, then we are gifted what is called true freedom to use our free will to continue to evolutionarily evolve ourselves forward in consciousness. If we break natural law, we refuse to learn true objective morality, and we become an immoral species in the aggregate, we go into the states called disorder, chaos, annihilation, extinction. If you know the law of freedom, in the aggregate, as a population becomes more moral, objectively, they become more free. In the aggregate, if a population of beings becomes more immoral, they become more enslaved. That's the law of freedom anywhere in the universe. That's how freedom is governed by natural law. And if you're a dark occultist that wants to hide that law, that wants to occult it and hide it from the average dumb dunce, they will not listen to reason.
And the point is here that, okay, bro, like, it's moral, and then people just, like, cognitive dissonance or whatever the process is, and they move on to the next thing. Okay, it's morality. Like, next. Like, the point is that you then have to do the work on yourself to think differently and act in a moral way for the collective freedom of all. Like, this is not like some mental masturbation.
They will not listen to logic. They think they know better than the smartest among them, and they're dumb as a sack of horse shit.
I mean, fuck, dude, it's a factor in terms of the fact that they're under a dark spellcast and context to emotional mind control on top of the fucking needlecraft and the fucking signaling with this goddamn fucking weapons technology that I know for a fucking fact, as far as my observations are concerned, is amplifying all the fucking programming and all the fucking bullshit that fuel lines these specific gridworks of consciousness. Okay. Yep. From there, in terms of cosmic law and how it's manipulated by the dark ones in context, they know it's all about our state of mind. This is what I've been saying for years as well. What the fuck is wrong with your state of mind, motherfuckers?
That's right. Every opportunity to correct the lack of logical thinking, every opportunity to correct the brain fog is all before people. It's here. It's available unto you. How fucking lazy are you? You know, are you driven or are you lazy?
Most of these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Now, I've been teaching with the mystery school for a long time now, and this is one of the first assignments that I give my initiates. You must start to become the master of your own thought and emotion, knowing how to think things on purpose and how to feel into things on purpose with focused intention.
That's right.
The last segment that I just...
It's 11/11.
Put out, I just want to fuck off on the fact that everyone
on the 11th
in this motherfucking realm is so unbelievably distracted, getting pulled on, energetically speaking. I can feel this shit.
There's endless distraction throughout our society. Social media, nonsense on TV, nonsense out in society.
You think by now that motherfuckers would be using this technology and these platforms correctly, but they're fucking not.
Let's go back to the dynamic I was talking about. If you...
I mean, I'd argue that, you know, on a deeper level, that the way that these platforms are designed is so that the truth can't be shared and there's energetic blocks there. It's the way that's the intention behind the technology itself.
No,
it doesn't mean you can't bypass or use it in good ways and that kind of thing, but there is deeper layers there.
That the law of freedom is what ultimately governs an entire species state of whether they're free or enslaved. And it's hinged upon objective morality, not religious morality, but true objective morality. What do you think a priest class that is guiding and directing humanity towards slavery is going to want to do? They're going to want to confuse people over what objective morality is by giving them a bunch of nonsensical, conflicting religious morality that they're going to fight over forever, that they're going to fight over until they destroy each other. Right. How can people still believe in bullshit religion? I'm in a foul, pissy mood over it today because the very first thing that I wake up to, I glance through my social media while I'm having my morning coffee, and I see people arguing over what are the 7 deadly sins? And this is something that I did an entire presentation on. And again, you don't have to be religious to believe that there are sins that harm yourself and humanity. There are things that we shouldn't be engaged in as far as behavior is concerned. And for something to be considered a transgression, you don't even have to use the word sin if you're uncomfortable with its religious context. He used the word sin. He must be completely into religion. Sin is a word that means a transgression. What is it a transgression against? First of all, transgression is very similar to aggression, and there's a reason for that. A transgression means that you violated someone else's rights. You've done something that is morally wrong, and therefore you've committed a transgression. Because I guess transgression was too much of a big word for fucking retards to think and not know the meaning of and remember. So they shortened it to the word sin in religion, connotatively in religion.
Saying and how it correlates everything in context to what I teach with the mystery school. Deregulation of the nervous system and the targeting of the mind and how that happens.
See previous episodes of Cosmic Surfers for more episodes on or detail on the nervous system.
The word sin was equated to an ancient moon god. Okay?
That's right.
The moon is what actually regulates how our thought and emotion operate, metaphysically speaking, in context to the actual goddamn fucking nervous system, which is how they're able to manipulate the gauge of our perception.
That's right. Emotionally. That's exactly how they do it. That's exactly correct. Were you moving toward the sun, which is the light, which is knowledge, which is rightness, which is morality, intelligence, or are you moving toward the moon, which is sin, which is letting the emotions be out of control, trying to guide what you think is right and correct by emotions only instead of through knowledge, that not being in your emotional control, and then that reflects in your behavioral control.
It reflects in terms of how people process the gauge of their perception. And then from there, in terms of the will force, which is what the sun is.
That's right.
Actions.
How they behave.
They follow in fucking suit. So the gauge,
100%.
So the gauge of our perception to process, which is the secret between the sun and the moon, is manipulated by all this shit that we're fucking talking about. You don't have a fucking goddamn fucking chance in terms of what's being fucking implemented. You're going to get sucked into the goddamn fucking meat grinder, spit out the other end in terms of another incarnation someplace else or some other fucking timeline when you didn't get the goddamn fucking memo that Mark and myself and other people in network that actually fucking know the difference have been working to fucking drive this whole goddamn fucking time.
That's right.
I hate having to go back to the basics, man.
And it is. This is what these people were arguing on social media. Listen to the level of retardation. Okay. They're literally trying to say that the church's versions of, quote, the 7 deadly sins, which are pride, gluttony, sloth, lust, anger, jealousy, and greed, are actual sinful behaviors instead of emotional states. I mean, could you believe it? So I just lusted. I'm jealous of something. Find the behavior. Where's the behavior? Where's the action that just took place? Transgression has to be rooted in action, ladies and gentlemen. That you do something to transgress the rights of someone else. Gluttony, right? Oh, 2 days ago I ate too much. Well, I engaged in gluttony. I engaged in gluttonous behavior. Did I do something that violated somebody else's rights? If you say I did, you're a fucking moron retard. And that's how you got to be talked to if you're that dumb. You can't be nice to somebody who's that fucking stupid. When somebody's that fucking stupid, they don't deserve respect. They deserve to be yelled at in their fucking face and told they're a fucking retard. Even if I eat too much, it's an action I did unto myself. I didn't do it against somebody else's rights. Now listen to the real 7 deadly sins and clean the shit out of everybody listening. Clean the shit out your ears and pay fucking attention. Listen to the qualitative difference between the church's bullshit sins versus the real ones that break natural law. Murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, deception. Morons. Not the church's versions. This is the problem, is that people are so loaded with horse shit in their fucking ears from religion that they can't understand I just laid out 7 fucking behaviors that violate other people's rights. Whereas the 7 deadly sins of the fucking so-called church, the retards of the fucking church, tell you that fucking emotional states are your fucking sins. And then people go, well, hold on, let me see if I can get the drool coming out of my fucking lips correct from the retards that speak this bullshit. Well, no, guys, there's no rape without lust. I mean, can I say it any more fucking Down syndrome? Accent? There's no rape without lust. Yeah, well, I've lusted over fucking women. I'm sure you have. Did you go out and fucking rape them?
No.
It's not the same fucking behavior, morons. And this is what has to be screamed in people's fucking face. Because they're fucking retarded because of fucking religion. And this is why we're enslaved. I don't want to live an enslaved existence. I'm fucking unjustly enslaved because of other people's morality.
Right, because of their fucking goddamn behavior and choices and the actions they're fucking taking, the fuck shit. Now, it is all about your state of mind, but actions are the only thing that manifest anything.
Correct.
Well, it's the actions you take and context to the results that you yield that actually fucking matter. It's what I've been telling my whole fucking crew, everyone that I'm in correspondence with lately. The only thing that fucking matters at the end of the day is the actual goddamn fucking results
That's
that you're
right.
manifesting in your fucking life.
That's it.
Not what you think or fucking feel about a goddamn fucking thing.
Right.
That doesn't lead to fucking results. That leads to inspiration.
That's right.
That gets the fucking motor going. That gets the gauge of the perception going. But the actual fucking actions you're taking, if they're not in alignment, like you've always said, Mark, unless thought, will, and action are in alignment, and I'll even add to that in context to core intelligence, where the fuck do you think the path is going to fucking lead?
And don't get me wrong, I'm not putting the church's, quote, deadly sins on a pedestal and saying go and do all those things. I'm not saying engage in counterproductive
I don't want anyone
pride.
that just heard Mark what he said to take him out of fucking context.
Right.
You gotta keep things in context here. That's another fucking thing.
We're not glorifying.
Exactly.
We're not glorifying those states of consciousness, those modalities of consciousness or emotion. I'm not saying go out there and be counterproductively prideful.
Or gluttonous or
anger, gluttony, sloth, lust, all of that. I'm not putting those up on a pedestal and glorifying them. Yes, they can lead to wrong behavior if you stay in those modalities of consciousness all the time and you don't work on yourself to bring your consciousness up to a higher level of awareness and understanding. Let that drive your behavior. Let those good states drive your behavior. We're not saying stay anchored in terrible consciousness modalities. No one is saying that. No one is saying let's worship this form of consciousness. We're saying that isn't the actual transgression that takes place internally. Therefore, the worst thing that it can be is an emotional state that is not productive to higher consciousness, which is called a vice. It is not a crime. Vices and crimes are two different things. This is what Sethicus means when he means core intelligence. Can you truly tell the difference between things? Do you know how to distinguish one thing from the other? That's where wisdom comes from. That's where the ability to direct your behavior for the better comes from. It comes from that core intelligence of being able to distinguish two completely different and separate things. Action is what manifests in the natural realm and therefore brings us the result.
And also being able to separate the difference between what's coming from a place of core intelligence versus how your ass is being fucking manipulated mentally and emotionally speaking. Again, how they target the fucking nervous system, how they target the gauge of our perception. Now, with all of the fucking shit that has been happening, taking it back to this quote, again, the Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage by the differences. There it is. There's the dialectic. There's the triangulation fucking factor right goddamn fucking there in terms of government, in terms of religions, in terms of that split down your own fucking mind. And you're not connected from a place of core intelligence. They know the difference in terms of all this. They know it's all about our state of fucking mind. And mind, as far as I'm concerned, is our entire beingness on a multidimensional level. Think about how they're fucking up our physicality so we can't even integrate higher consciousness capacity to be able to even see the shit that we don't even know is fucking running our asses in terms of the fucking goddamn collective. It's not happening with me and Mark. We can separate ourselves from this fucking shit. And right now, the storm in terms of this fucking realm, it's one of the biggest storms I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, man.
It's unbelievable what they're doing to people on every level.
They're just going with it.
The news that they take into their mind, the food and drink they take into their body, the air they breathe, radionics, all kinds of manipulative energies. And you know what people are? They're the Starship Enterprise with their shields down, getting fired upon by the Klingons and Romulans. That's what they are, okay? That's what literally they are. There's no psychic shielding being bombarded. They don't even have any immune system shielding because they're all doing the wrong things nutritionally and, with what they're taking into their body. I see family members that have been stricken with the same afflictions and same diseases for 20, 30 years. And I've been telling them, you can't do the same thing and get a different result. That's called insanity. That's called being a fucking retard. You're doing the same thing, you're getting the same result, and you're saying, I want a different result. I'm in the hospital again. You know what I say to them? You fucking belong there. You deserve it. Suffer. Suffer until your mind fucking changes and changes your behavior. You belong where you're at. And this is what humanity deserves. Humanity deserves chaos, destruction, disorder, slavery, extinction. We don't deserve anything better based on how we have thought, felt, and behaved.
Right. And
that's what we have to accept. We're doing it to ourselves. No one's doing it to us.
Right. This is why. And this is the real secret.
Doing it to ourselves, right. And this is why I get frustrated with people who just want to sit and talk about what the fucking elites are up to all the time and not realizing that it comes from the way that we think. And yes, there's external forces at play. And what he just said, the way we think and the way that we act has a direct impact on how things are.
In terms of what the mythos actually teaches, the mythos of my ancestors. When Odin sacrificed himself unto himself, he went unto himself. This is how things actually fucking work.
Yep.
You go into yourself down the wrong goddamn fucking path, you're going to face the fucking consequences. However, make the right moves. If you adhere to things in terms of proper knowledge and wisdom, what do you think the result is going to be? In the face of all this fucking contrast, we are going to be in a place of thriving in one of the most fucking chaotic times of madness that this entire fucking realm has ever fucking been in. Okay, you want to take it to Kali Yuga, you want to take it to fucking Ragnarok, all these fucking things. It's obvious the hour that we are in, and the two main timelines that I talk about that are playing the fuck out, all of these other fucking timelines in between are going to fall into either that track down the fucking AI timeline trajectory or the original timeline trajectory. And with that, I'm going to pull this segment into a break. This is the opportunity to face the fucking mirror. They would hightail it out of the fucking temple like I'm talking about. In context to the alchemical rites of initiation. And we're still going through a major time of healing right now in terms of the procession. That's why all this shit has risen to the fucking surface, and the way that the triangulation dialectics operate with the weapons technologies, it's triangulating that fucking shit into the fucking trapezoid, into that 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 trap, the cube within the cube, and amplifying this shit out of the fucking programming that is charging people emotionally speaking. And this is also what I've been picking up on all across the fucking field and amplifying that. And then people just fucking go to fucking town.
You could always go back to looking at symbolism that is derived from the occult world. Even in the symbolism of the pyramid and all-seeing eye, that trapezoid, which is the bottom of the pyramid with the capstone disconnected, is the soul trap. Right. That's the trap for the soul. We've rooted you in the physical. Right. We've rooted you in the material, the physical, the hardened, the stone, that which is set in place and doesn't change. You're not of that capstone of light at the top of the pyramid. That's where knowledge is at. That's where the real answers are at.
That's where that space is in between, man. It's not connected.
Disconnection. Right.
They're disconnected from the first eye.
And people can't.
Intelligence.
Right. They can't see that symbolism. It's right there in front of them on the talisman they carry every day, the $1 bill.
It's a different way of looking at it, man. Right.
And
Most
you know, they're trapped in that trapezoid, that salt trap, one of the symbols the Satanists use. As a matter of fact, their altars in their forms of ritual are trapezoidal.
All about
Ritual
order of the
books.
trapezoid. Order
Right,
of the
exactly.
these
Of
motherfuckers.
course. That trapezoid represents being trapped in analysis that has nothing to do with the solution. People are trapped in political analysis.
I'm so fucking glad that you just said that, man, because that is
We're now approaching the part that I wanted to get into the most.
the absolute goddamn fucking truth. They're not focused on any actual viable solution.
No,
Political analysis, living in the realm of effect.
That's right.
Affected by it and infected in context of their fucking mind.
the realm of effects occultically is the place where there's no power to create change because manifestation has already
Right,
occurred.
because they haven't truly become the cause points. They're not the cause points.
If I wanted to use the soft glass that was eventually used to make this mug, to make a bowl instead, well, too late. This is what was done through action, and it manifested in a mug, in a glass mug. That's over. That's over. This is the realm of effects. Analyzing every little curve and nook and nuance of the glass is not going to make it less of a mug. It's still a mug. They're not starting at the place where the realm of thought could have made it a bowl when the glass was still hot, when the glass was still flowing. We could have made a bowl then instead of a mug. They're just analyzing the mug that's already manifested. That's how the realm of effect versus the realm of causality actually work in nature. This is what all the people doing endless political, financial, and other analyses in our world is all doing. It amounts to fucking hill of beans. It amounts to a hill of beans because all you're doing is analyzing the already manifested. You can't create change from the realm of the already manifested.
This is 99.9999% of the content that I fucking see. And it's all fucking horse shit.
Yep.
It's all
Nobody's talking about how to change people's minds.
How to change people's minds, how to change your own mind.
In the world. That's all real occultists ever do. Real occultists, real de-occultists as we are, change people's thinking. They don't try to change political outcomes. They change the way people think so they behave differently, so the outcome comes out differently in the realm of manifestation. This
as within, so without, as we got into yesterday.
This fucking baby.
And taking total responsibility for everything that we think and act.
Occult School 101. That's your first initiatory lesson, is everything is derived from the realm of mind. That is the realm of causality. You cannot change things from the realm of manifested result or effect. It doesn't work like that. The laws of nature do not work like that. You can analyze things until the end of time. It's not going to matter unless you change people's thought processes, because their thought processes lead to their behaviors, which leads to the state of the world. There's much more difficult lessons to come later. Humanity is so fucking retarded and dumb, we can't even get the basic 001 lesson before proceeding on to higher level consciousness lessons. What do you think is going to happen as a result of that? The total refusal of knowledge and the way things actually work. Do you think good things are going to manifest? This is why I tell family members or friends who are in the hospital, you're doing it to yourself. You're putting yourself there. What are you still?
No, we're going to get disclosure and we're going to get 0 point energy without changing our thoughts and acting morally. We're just going to have a 0 point energy device when the government gives it to us.
Doing with your body? What are you still doing with food and nutrition? What are you doing with exercise? And then you'll say in the next breath, I don't want to be here. I didn't ask for this. Yes, you did. You asked for it every step along the way by everything you ever did, everything you either did or didn't put in your fucking mouth and into your body. You asked for it. You fucking asked for it, folks. You didn't do the requirements. You didn't learn the lessons. You didn't meet the requirements. And now you're fucking failing the class.
Here's the factor and context of what you're getting at. The state of mind that people have been conditioned to is victim mentality, where they are conditioned to abdicate their fucking responsibility in terms of what actually manifests in their life. So what the dark ones do, and it works fucking brilliant, they create scapegoats things to fucking blame. Anything else except your fucking ass making the goddamn fucking decision that you did that landed you manifesting the experience that you are.
That's right.
So fucking goddamn fucking far out of alignment in terms of what we're talking about. Beyond the manifestation.
Highly recommend doing personal law work, LORE, which is a segment of rebirthing breathwork, because it gets to the causal factors of why we're thinking the way that we are based on our image of the world and ourselves from our time of birth, from these systems that have been, imposed upon us. And I'll likely, we'll be doing episodes on that. I'll be getting someone on this show very shortly to talk about that.
The realm of effect that the entire fucking realm is in fucking thrall to. Now, to go further into this quote, a part of how they're able to pull the entire fucking realm into this shit, political analysis that ultimately amounts to fucking nothing. And just on and on and on it goes. They continue to do what the fuck they do, and then people analyze it within the realm of effect, and nothing actually fucking changes. They're just keeping the wheels greased, man.
I call it politic-quack. Quacking about politics. Quack, quack, quack. What's Trump going to do? Quack, 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 Putin. Quack, 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 Netanyahu. Quack, 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 Ukraine. Quack, 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 Israel. You're talking about nothing. It's not changing anyone's thoughts to analyze politics. It's changing no one's thoughts. You got to change people's thoughts about what is morally true and right. That's the answer. These are the laws of the universe. Here's your behavior. Are they in alignment or are they completely out of alignment? Your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors are all completely out of fucking whack and out of fucking alignment. Politics is not the authority. Government is not the authority. The laws of the Creator are the fucking authority of this realm.
Proper knowledge and wisdom. People do not adhere proper knowledge and wisdom. You're fucked.
That's right.
What did Odin seek above all things? Wisdom.
That's right.
Proper knowledge. Sacrifice.
Right action through right knowledge. That's right.
Himself in order to obtain that. If the fucking realm did that, it would change things in context. And people would start to heal. They would start to pull the alignment. They wouldn't be distracted and pulled into the goddamn fucking abyss by your fucking owners.
Yeah, in those Norse traditions, I mean, that's what Mjolnir represents. That's what the weapon of Thor represents.
That's why we wear this shit, man.
It represents being in that right state. It represents being in that moral state. It represents being in that state of power through wisdom. That's right.
Exactly. And Thor, in context, is the protector of mankind. What the fuck do you think this is? This level of vehemence in terms of our expression? This is nothing. Both of us, death metal fucking vocalists, black metal fucking vocalists. Could you fucking imagine?
Come a long way.
No, I'm just saying.
I still listen to heavy music. I still love death metal. I'll probably listen to it till I'm like 80.
Could you imagine a project in alignment?
That would be very powerful. Absolutely.
Going back to this quote, I love what you addressed because it's 100% true, and it's a fucking fact. Meanwhile, nations across the world are going to be divided on all these issues. It states here, and I'm talking about this fomentation that's taking place between the political Zionists and the political leaders of the Islamic world. What the fuck do we see happening? Right? It's a fact. Islam has invaded Europe. It's starting to happen here in the American territories. I got another question for you in context later. Meanwhile, nations across the world divided on these issues will constrain to fight those pulled into the meat grinder to the point of complete physical, moral, and spiritual and potential economic exhaustion, indoctrinated with Christianity, which cucks people the fuck out. I'm just going to fucking say it. Along with the increased propaganda directed by political Zionism, along with Islamic invasions across the world, is how World War III begins. Further, with all of this, after a certain point, they will also unleash the nihilists and atheists to provoke an even greater formidable social cataclysm worldwide. And all of its horror will show clearly the nations of this world the total effect of absolute nihilism and atheism and savagery, and will be potentially the most bloody turmoil that this world has ever known. Everyone everywhere worldwide will be obligated to defend themselves in terms of these conflicts, as well as them against a certain world minority that actually fucking know the difference. However, most will be so disillusioned by their programming and ideologies otherwise They will be without any compass or direction, so anxious for an idea that they will, without knowledge of where to render their adoration, willingly bow to their authority through the universal world manifestation of the dark Luciferian covenants and doctrine, which will then fulfill their plan for total world domination. Now, what do you say to that, Mark?
I'd say it's right on track. I'd say these people do not play, and they say what they're going to do and then do it. And that's what we're witnessing. And it's child's play for them. Absolute child's play for the dark occultists, the dark Luciferians, to get that accomplished in the very real world, because they're dealing with people who are mental midgets. They're dealing with people who don't understand how any of the laws of manifestation of this reality work. And it's like taking candy from a baby. It's like cheating somebody that doesn't know arithmetic. That's how dumb the average member of the human population is compared to the occultists that run the fucking show. And I've been telling people this for almost 20 years now, and nobody's listening. The problem is the whole population is dead asleep at the wheel. The whole population doesn't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They don't want to give up childish fucking fantasies and childish bullshit notions and fairy tale stories they were told by their dumbass fucking absolutely abusive fucking parents to teach them horse shit religion-wise. They just didn't snap out of the fucking trance when they had the opportunity to. That's a missing paradigm shift is what I call it. We have a amount that did wake up. Great that they did. I think that's wonderful, but it's not enough. Imagine bringing this amount of water to put a house fire out when the house is raging on fire, the whole roof is on fire. Are you out of your fucking mind? You've brought a quarter of a glass of water to put out a raging house fire? We need 10 fire trucks loaded. That ain't going to get the job done. This is how many people woke up. The whole house is on fucking fire. We need multiple fire trucks to put the fucking fire out. The problem is the mass majority of the people that did wake up to whatever extent that they did stayed silent. Me and you didn't stay silent. We activated. That's what activation means. To do something in the world to wake up others. How many people, they've got a little eye open just like that halfway. I know enough. Fuck everybody else. I'm not doing shit. I'm going to try to protect myself and myself only, and I don't give a damn what abuses happen to the rest of the population. 99.999% of people went that route, and therefore they went off spiritual mission. They completely went off their spiritual mission in life, and they became selfish people who only really give a fuck about themselves.
People that think they know, but yet they still actually fucking know. They don't understand what's fucking required. It's not about your fucking status. It's not about what you have or don't fucking have. It doesn't matter whether you have fucking support or not. What matters is that you actually fucking do what you're here to fucking do.
That's right.
I know that I'm a mission soul. No matter what the goddamn fucking circumstances were, I fucking suffered when I ran from this. And I ran fucking hard, because looking at the consequences, weighing the fucking scales of the two scorpions, when I decided to listen to my actual fucking soul from a place of core intelligence, that is when my own life started to come into alignment.
That's right. And that's how the universe and natural law reward people who are on point and on mission.
This is also how we've been able to build this network from the ground up in the face of all the goddamn fucking contrast and fucking bullshit. Frankly, I'm just as fucking disappointed as you are. I thought at this point it would have been further along, just like you, man.
Much further. And we needed to go way further in consciousness. Trump's.
I hope people are ready to be fucking psyoped into oblivion with all of the mind control technology and the way that people are acting immorally and the way that things are slipping. Because, there's more and more information getting out there, more and more and more. And, what do you think is going to happen when that pressure builds? There's just going to be some kind of event, not singing it up in any way, but it's just a reality of the trajectory that we're on, unless we change things very rapidly and urgently, which is why I'm bringing this up now, because of the urgency. Not in a way to act hastily, but, things are at a precipice. And in the next 3 to 5 years with quantum technology and the mind control technology, what do you think's going to happen? We're going to be psyoped into fucking oblivion.
The answer. The next political candidate's going to be the answer, don't you know?
Oh, it's going to be pragmatic. Yeah, all these libertarians, just, the lesser of two evils. Yeah, how'd that work out?
That's all. Get out and vote. That's all you got to do. Join your nearest political party and get out there and vote. Assholes out there still believe this is the fucking solution to the problems of humanity. The next crypto's coming down the line. We got to really get back behind that one and back it. The next piece of tech's coming down.
Yeah, well, I also push back on this as well, because there are mutual credit currencies, which is based on barter, which is aligned with natural law, and also we do need technology to be able to share natural law through media. So it's these are all part of the overall solution to take action in alignment with natural law. So I do push back on that.
Get invented, and we got to back that piece of tech that's going to make us free. I mean, this is how.
Yeah, and what are you going to do when your message isn't out because they turn off your domain and your server and all this kind of thing? Like, okay, maybe you have the skills to be able to do some workarounds, but the majority are not.
Jerk-offs think. I mean, absolute jerk-offs think this way and don't understand that the only thing that's ever going to...
Yeah, we change our thoughts, and then when our actions are aligned with natural law, we create solutions like technology and currency, which is based on true exchange of real value beyond the monetary and usury system. That's what it looks like in the realm of effect.
Save humanity is bringing people's mind and actions into alignment with objective morality.
And what does it fucking look like when you fucking do it?
And I don't know how much more...
You're fucking retarded too, if you think that.
Can you say the same fucking thing over and over and over? The message is given. We've done our jobs giving the fucking message to people. The bottom line is they didn't listen, and now the Ragnarok has to arrive. The fucking destruction...
And then people will fucking watch this shit and fucking light up another joint and be like, oh yeah, everyone's fucking immoral. Yeah, is that fucking solving anything either?
Has to come. The pain has to come. They got to get hit fucking hard. They got to suffer hard in order to fucking wake up now.
Both you and I have been through that process integration. It's not like you and I don't understand what these motherfuckers are going through. I know exactly what the fuck they're going through, and I know what it's like to be in a place of confusion, chaos, knowing that there's something more beyond a limited gauge of my fucking perception, but without actual initiation into the occult.
I went through my dark night of the soul back in the late 90s, early 2000s, leading up to 9/11. I'd say I completely woke up in the year 2002. So I've been awake, what I would consider fully spiritually awake, for about 23 years now. I've seen hardly any progress in humanity since then. Look at COVID. Look at the whole COVID fucking hoax. The bullshit that was fucking COVID. Look at how many fucking morons fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
That was the biggest dark spellcast.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before, that was an actual dark spellcast enacted in ancient times to go off when it fucking did.
All the occult priest class does, ladies and gentlemen, is...
Yeah, and I was at a Vision Quest in that year saying that at the beginning of January 2020, talking about major star alignments and how 2020, obviously I didn't predict it, but I did have a previous Vision Quest message around the Black Plague. But I sat there and I said to the group about the significance of 2020.
Invent new religions. They're going to invent a new one coming along. It's on its way. They're going to trot it out to fucking humanity.
That's the plan.
It's the new religion.
That's the plan in terms of the dark Luciferian covenant and fucking doctrine being instituted worldwide. Now, what does that actually look like, Mark?
It's anything to generate fear. They're going to make you afraid. That's it. As soon as something that makes somebody afraid comes along, the people who want more power over your fucking life pounce on that opportunity like a fucking hyena pouncing on a fucking deer and say, well, we got them right where we want them. And the answer is, if you do enough shadow work upon yourself, you won't succumb to that fear, because we're spiritual entities or creatures governed by the innate organic intelligence of creation itself, and there is nothing to fear. And so you stop fearing death. You stop fearing anything. And then you don't externalize your power because you're not in fear. The whole game works like that. They invent a religion, they scare people, they tell you they're going to be the savior, you just got to give up your rights. And people are too fucking stupid to understand the tactic that they've been using for thousands of fucking years.
That's the thing. If people understood the fucking fact that you are here to save your own fucking ass.
That's right.
Myself, Mark's here to save himself. Everybody out there is here to save themselves. And we
Amen.
Ourselves in alignment, taking right action towards the manifestation of what's actually fucking required to activate your goddamn fucking template. That's the fucking
self-actualize, right? I'm not here to be anybody's savior. Right. Nobody's here to be anybody's savior. Right.
Information about arbitrary fucking things. It's specific, proper knowledge and wisdom.
Correct.
Designed, put your ass in alignment so that you experience the actual activation of your fucking soul and go through that integration process of your eternal spirit to soul code, blood code essence, anchored in the fucking realm, anchor the higher fucking grid works of consciousness here.
Correct.
All this other fucking shit that we're talking about, it's all designed to get you to think that you could fucking escape reality.
Yep. To take you off of that mission.
Goddamn responsibility.
That's right.
In terms of what the fuck I just said. What the fuck is wrong with the West? We have abdicated and forgotten our true traditions. The true traditions, this is what was
we're off mission. We're off mission. We're off personal responsibility. We're looking for a savior externally. Nobody is positioned to be the savior of anybody, as you said.
We're here to
who is here
in terms of that?
Who is here to save humanity? Humanity is here to save ourselves. What do we need saving from? Slavery. We need saving from slavery and ultimately extinction and extermination. And, you know, when you said it's specific knowledge, what is the required knowledge?
This is another fucking factor. When things aren't in alignment in context of what we're fucking talking about, it's the cause point to what leads to all issues and problems in the fucking realm.
When your thinking is off, your behavior is off, then your results are off. People's thinking is off. From the very inception, believing that anybody should be authority over anybody, believing that there should be government, believing that there should be dictates. This is slavery. If you support slavery ideologically, if you condone slavery, that makes you a bad person. What do you think's going to happen to bad people? Good things? The universe doesn't work that way. The universe gives us the opportunity to choose between what's right and what's wrong. That's why it's so important to get the answers correct, to have true holistic intelligence, core intelligence, as Sethicus calls it. The idea is you have to be correct about the important things. When you're correct about those things, you get rewarded by the universe. When you're incorrect about those things, you get fucking put down by the universe. You eventually get beaten into fucking oblivion by the universe. This whole place is a school by which, based on our results, what we do to learn the lessons and then apply the lessons, we actually get the results reflected back to ourselves, and either we pass and go on to new levels of existence, or we fail and we fucking suffer. It's all self-inflicted. It's all self-driven. It's self-inflicted when suffering happens to us on this level.
That's what
haven't figured it out.
Understand, because they want to plague the victim and they're looking for something to blame anything else except themselves.
That's right. They want to look to the externalization of their power.
People, and I've said this often, until people face that magic mirror gate, you're not going to fucking transcend. You will remain enslaved. You will remain in thrall to the programming and context of living in fear, and then you wonder why the fuck you're suffering. Just what the fuck on earth is happening, motherfuckers? Fucking real. The madness and the fucking clown show bullshit that is going on, completely negating the things that we are touching upon in context of this specific segment. This is what the fuck we got to get back to if we're going to have a goddamn fucking standing chance in terms of what is not only upon our doorsteps, but in terms of what the fuck is coming. Now, in terms of prophecy, the difference between false self-fulfilled prophecy versus what true prophecy actually is. I could take that to the Hopi. I could take it to the white dragon prophecy in context of my ancestors warned about the times that we are in. All this other stuff in terms of prophecy leading up to the fomentation of what we see manifesting in the world is the Dark One's script. It is the script of the Dark Priest class, the brotherhoods and sisterhoods in context. And addressing that in terms of what religion is implemented, again, in ancient times, one of the main goals was to tear every race, tribe, culture away from their true roots in context and knowing who the fuck they are. And like we know, in terms of this dark axiom, cut a man or a woman off from their roots and you will have a slave. And so this, for me, in terms of my position and what I've been bringing forward, is the actual solution in context. We have to remember who the fuck we are. Getting into blood codes, getting into soul codes, getting into activation of our templating, more advanced past the basic preliminary protocol that is necessary to lay the proper foundation as far as actual initiation into the occult. You can see clear how much people are enthralled to all these things that have been implemented over the years, and in context to things like Laoxism and fomentation as far as racism and this whole guilt complex that you have against yourself in terms of who you truly fucking are. This is one of the main issues. And then people are becoming converts in terms of this dark Luciferian covenant and doctrine came through what they gave the slave class, the religions in the outer court of Solomon's temple, man.
Yep. It's just amazing that people still believe their religion and their religion only is untouched by the hand of the dark occult and Satanism. It was never infiltrated. That one, if you're a Jew, Judaism was untouched. It was just magically untouched. Yeah, they never infiltrated it. They never got a hold of that one. If you're a Christian, Christianity is the only one. That's pure. That's untouched. They never got a hold of it. If you're Islamic, they never got a hold of Islam. They just didn't infiltrate that one. All the other ones, yeah, but not that one. Even in the occult world, people who just believe in Rosicrucianism, that's the holy and pure doctrine.
Yeah, I know. One of the people high up in Rosicrucianism, and knows a lot of shit, knows a lot about the Kemet. Absolute fucking retard, stuck in cannabis addiction and egotistical self-gratulation, and spends all day on Facebook arguing about how much he fucking knows. So fuck that.
I've never been touched by any dark occultists. I'm a hermeticist. That's the absolute unquestioned word of everything. Every tradition has the negative side to it. Every tradition's been infiltrated. Every tradition has a dark side. Right. If you don't understand that, you're a fucking naive little fucking baby child.
I know that through and through in terms of my own tradition. And what I see driving everything is what I term to be Loki's chariot.
Yep.
All of this other shit is late in terms of actual occult history. Getting into the Nordic tradition, the tradition of the Druids, and even taking it to the Italian tradition in context of Strega, warns against this shit.
We were warned by every tradition that there was sorcerers coming into society with this knowledge to use it against the people. Just use arithmetic as an example. And this covers all of the occult. It covers all religion. It covers everything. A simple form of numerical science, arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. If you have a sorcerer class that understands how to add, multiply, divide, and subtract, and then a dumb population does not know how to do that, and then you start interacting with them with goods and trades and services and shit like that, how much of a number could the people in the know do on the ignorant? 100% complete destruction they could level, but they could steal everything they have. They could give them something worth 10 cents and say, that's $4,000. If you don't know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you're sunk from Jump Street if other people do know it and are of an inclination to manipulate you. This is what all information works like. It's not just one thing. Everything works like that, from how the laws of nature work, to how the laws of science work, to how technology works, to how the geopolitical structure is set up, to how finance and banking work. It's all hidden from people's understanding so they could just do a number on them and turn them into slaves and completely control and own them. And people still haven't figured it out after thousands of years. That's how dumb each generation is, because they're trash for parents don't educate their young properly.
Even when you bring proper knowledge and wisdom to the fucking table, the youth don't give a fuck.
They think they know better than people who have studied it their entire lives.
When I was a youth, who gives a shit was one of my sayings I said a lot. So, yep, that was me. Put my hand up, I was wrong.
That whole journey of what it actually means to become mature, let alone spiritually mature, a lot of the more advanced shit that I'm still waiting to release on the platform with Black Earth Productions is meant for the spiritually mature. Why would I waste my fucking time trying to convince people that don't give a fuck the knowledge and the secrets of the universe? This is the most difficult factor in terms of being in a position like this as a teacher.
Yep.
How to cultivate patience in terms of the times that we're in. Frankly, Mark, I about ran the fuck out of all.
Same here. We're not meant to have an endless supply of patience. Patience is a limited dynamic. Do you think a teacher is supposed to have endless patience with a remedial student? At some point, you got to say to the fucking child, your progress is fucking abysmal. And that's what a good teacher will eventually do. A good friend will say that to another friend. You're failing miserably at what you're trying to do. Woe is me. I'm sick again. I keep getting ill. I keep ending up in the hospital. Have you changed your fucking diet? Are you exercising? Are you fucking treating your body right? Are you not abusing yourself? Are you not pushing everything so fucking hard that you get sick? Is your immune system bolstered? Stop lying to yourself. There's the first occult maxim. You want the first occult piece of knowledge? There it is. This above all else, to thine own self be true. Don't lie to yourself. It doesn't mean stick to your guns no matter what. That's not what to thine own self be true means. It means this above everything else. First and foremost, before you do anything else, stop lying to yourself. I say to family members who are constantly in the hospital because of different things that they do to their body and will not straighten up and fly right when it comes to health and nutrition, say to yourself what you really want. If you say, I want health, I don't want to be in the hospital, you're a lying sack of fucking horse shit. Be 100% brutally honest in the moment right now and speak truth. What do you want? And the answer is you want to be sick.
No,
because if you wanted to be fucking well, you'd be well. You want to be sick. That's why you're in the fucking hospital. If you wanted to be well, you would have been eating right. You would have been exercising. You would have been taking care of your fucking immune system. You wouldn't be taking a million fucking prescription drugs. You wouldn't be eating fucking poison day and night. You'd be fucking doing what's required to maintain health and bolster your health into your future. This is where all shadow work begins. Shadow work is brutal honesty with the self. And until there's brutal honesty with the self, don't expect truth and honesty anywhere else.
What you're saying in context is the fact that most people, they don't want to fucking rise. They want to fucking sink because nothing's actually fucking required of them in order to fucking sink. In order to fucking rise, everything in terms of alignment is required for you. Right action towards changing your goddamn fucking behavior and stop lying to yourself. This is what people do all the fucking time in terms of their justification, denial of that denial. And then what happens from there? They want to blame anything else except themselves for their bullshit, fucked up goddamn fucking condition. You know who fucking loves that more?
The controllers.
Anything.
Yep.
It's the fucking dark one.
That's right.
The
controllers
they get their goddamn fucking power.
They're sitting back laughing at what people are doing to themselves.
That's how.
They don't barely have to lift a finger. They don't have to lift a pinky finger to do what they're doing to people. People are doing it all to themselves. Because they don't want to do the work. Work is required to order things. The very definition scientifically in physics of work is the ability to affect change through force, the ability to affect change through the will. That's the definition of what work is. If you're going to affect change, effort and work are requirements. Change just doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen off the cuff. A hand doesn't come out of the sky and touch you on the forehead, touch on the third eye. Nonsensical, religious, new age bullshit view of reality that isn't real. It doesn't work that way.
The difference between escapism versus self-mastery. We incarnated to master this existence. And not knowing what's required in context to that is, of course, what's led to the manifestation of slavery. Getting back to our true traditions, this is what the true traditions fucking required, especially in terms of the shaman class. You have to understand my position in terms of my bloodline and all this shit. This is who the fuck I am. And I've been through the fucking rites. I know you've been through the rites as well. You're a measure of it. People, if they're not willing to force confront their fucking pain, it's never going to fucking happen. And everyone's been conditioned to avoid their pain at all fucking costs, chasing the pleasure principle and denial of what the fuck is actually wrong, and the fact that they're contributing to it, even though they think that they're making some kind of fucking dent in the goddamn fucking equation, living in the realm of effect, manifesting this self-fulfilled prophecy conditioned into their fucking mind. Nothing is fucking changed on the level if these motherfuckers were not in the positions of influence that they are. This is why we've been hit. The whole fucking 9 yards. That's also a key indication that we are the real way showers in this motherfucking realm. Having to fucking explain this fucking shit.
We're teaching fucking ignoramus, thick-headed, hard heads that don't want to fucking learn. That think that they know better.
They don't also understand what's going to become.
Oh, bro, but I know. Let me tell you about all of the stuff that I know about the occult and all of the... and MK Ultra and Nazis. Let me tell you about all of these conspiracies. That's how much I know. You don't know as much as I know.
Necessary to fucking survive the times that we are in if you don't fucking catch what the fuck we're saying. Especially in terms of this segment.
It's a 2-year-old
initiation.
It's a 2-year-old telling a master chef how to cook.
Right.
Like they couldn't possibly even get in the kitchen and cook anything. It's a 2-year-old
come at me, man.
Walking in the kitchen and going, "I know better than you, master chef." You don't know.
Yeah, but I ran into this recently, and that's why I did that video, Cause Timelines, because this person didn't look into any of the work, didn't know anything about anything. Very, and just kind of wrote it off, like just off the cuff statements like, "Oh, timelines."
Fucking cock squat about how it works. That's what we need to be telling these fucking babies, yelling it right to their fucking face. This is what manifestation, everything you think you know has fucking got you. It's led you into a fucking cage, going fucking nowhere, landed you in a fucking hospital, or landed you in the fucking grave, or 1 fucking foot from it. And then you want to turn around and say, you know fucking better. You don't know shit. And you're unwilling to listen to fucking reason and logic and wisdom. People don't know where real shadow work begins. And let me tell you where it begins, because I'll get into the heart of occultism right here. Okay? Sure. You want to know why one of the major symbols of the occult that you see over and over in every tradition, there's an image of it in every single tradition that there is in a different form. And it's the image of the master who has gone through the process of initiation, standing in an archway or a doorway, and the master who has gone through initiation is just doing this. Finger over the lips. Now, some people will say this means don't teach anybody. It can't be taught. It can't be learned. Wrong. Incorrect. That's not what the symbol means. It doesn't mean shut up and don't teach anybody, because this is what other fucking morons actually think the answer is. They think it's you learn for yourself and then just shut the fuck up and be silent. Don't try to teach anybody else or tell them what needs to be done. No, that's absolutely incorrect. That's not what the symbol means, and if that's what you think it means, you're a fucking idiot. Here's what the symbol really means. This is the master telling the student what's required. Shut the fuck up. In silence, the answer comes to you. When your mind is quiet, the answer arrives. It's not about don't tell the hard-headed how they're fucked up. wrong. That's the problem, is that people haven't been hard enough on the fucking hard-headed. And the people who think they know better. That's where you got to be yelling in their fucking face. Perspective of fucking heart-based intelligence. Not just having out-of-control emotions for no reason.
All that unwarranted fucking self-murdered bullshit.
Right.
That's not what the fuck is going on.
With enough willpower, we can make people listen. Is the voice strong enough? Is the voice strong enough? You know what? The fucking sick satanic fucking occultists that are putting out all their fucking disinformation, they make sure of it. They're driven like motherfuckers. And their will is strong. And they make sure their voices are fucking heard. And it goes into the fucking mind and it distorts every fucking thing. They're not fucking around with their voice. I can tell you that from being among them. From walking among them.
All these motherfuckers out there that assume that Mark or myself are part of this whole dynamic that we're fucking exposing, you are among the most retarded motherfuckers out there. Because if we were, then we wouldn't be doing what we're doing to fucking expose this shit. Ignite the goddamn fucking flame of core intelligence within yourself. We come to the fucking point of becoming more terrifying than them.
And the ignition, this is a bit of a spiritual rant, but my spiritual name from completing my 4 vision quests is TechPat. And on the main sun face, I am the obsidian tongue, the flintstone of ignition, spark of creation.
How are you going to fucking define the ultimate good in the face of fucking evil if we are not the terrifying ones in fucking context? Take it back to Odin.
Good is not wishy-washy. Good is fucking strong. It doesn't take shit, and it speaks the truth plainly. It doesn't sugarcoat. That's what goodness does. Good isn't some wishy-washy, oh, lovey-dovey, wishy-washy. That's not what good is. Goodness fucking gets in your face and tells you how fucked up you are if you're fucked up. It doesn't lie to you. It doesn't fucking coddle you. It doesn't say you're doing great when you're doing shitty.
And if you are doing great, it's going to encourage and inspire that.
Of course.
Go forward.
Keep it up. We need more of that. Let's have other people come up just like you. I consider myself one of the most reasoned, balanced, and even keeled teachers in this whole realm of this avenue of spirituality that there is.
You're not into apologetics. People that are into apologetics, you're fucking failing.
Excuses. Making excuses.
Intellectually masturbating one another in some kind of bullshit philosophical fucking discussion that leads nowhere with no actual goddamn fucking results.
If you make excuses for other people's weakness, laziness,
what is required?
That's right. You can't make excuses for their weakness, their ignorance, their laziness, their apathy, any of that. A teacher encourages, but it also fucking tells the student when they're fucking up. And this class is fucking up. I'm not talking about your specific listenership, Seth, because I'm talking about the whole movement in general, because it is not doing well. Exactly. It is not getting the message. It is not helping to get the message out. They don't want the knowledge of the occult. They don't want the knowledge of natural law. They don't want the knowledge of how things really work. They love the ignorance, because the ignorance implies I don't have to be responsible. Slaves don't have to be responsible.
It's the responsibility in terms of being an actual co-creator.
Mm-hmm.
In alignment with core intelligence.
That's right.
What I term to be the higher force.
Yep. They're still responsible for it. They just think that they're not.
Exactly. And that principle, of course, has been manipulated. This shit that's going on right now is nothing new. It's nothing.
It's ancient. This is ancient. Ancient.
Repeat. In terms of the procession, so many people have been given the opportunity to actually transcend this shit. I've already transcended it. Levels that I can't even get into with people yet because they're not spiritually mature. They're not ready for that fucking level. But a master, a true master, is going to go over the basics daily. And I love what you said about this. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And listen.
If this is full to the top with water, I can't put beer in it.
Right.
I'd have to empty it out first for the vessel to receive something new. That's what nothing new under the sun means. Tyranny and slavery are ancient. The sun hasn't shined its light upon the earth. It's been darkness pretty much since humanity has been here. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been here. It's all been working the same way. Humanity hasn't changed. That's the problem. The universe is working perfectly. I hear all these people, oh, the demiurge is in control of everything. Place is just an endless prison.
That just
No.
feeds that ideology. They play
Right.
the fucking victim.
Well,
Anybody that goes with that Gnostic fucking narrative, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, it's a very dangerous mindset to go down because the whole idea is we don't really have free will to change the outcome, and we do.
That's bullshit.
We absolutely have free will to change the outcome. We have free will in the moment to change the outcome. Intelligence is fucked up. We're off. We're not on the right fucking page when it comes to really understanding how things work. Our will is off. Our emotions are all fucked up and
The
off.
soul spark is eclipsed. It's tarred the fuck over.
Grown people worry about politics and sports instead of fucking how reality works. Going crazy about fucking my sports team lost. Crying in your fucking beer about your sports team fucking losing. Being fucking slaves can ball team who don't want responsibility for their own lives. Who is responsible for your health as a being? And what will they say? The FDA? What will they say? Government? If you don't say my health is my fucking responsibility and no one else's, you're lying. And I want to go back to silence being the beginning of all wisdom. Whose responsibility is your self-defense? Is it some fucking pig? Is it fucking a judge? Is it some fucking politician? Your responsibility to defend yourself lies with you solely. And if it's a big, big, big fucking threat, it lies with the people as a group. It doesn't lie with any fucking politician, political party, or fucking military. It's the people's responsibility to defend themselves. We are responsible for our own lives, whether we believe that to be so or not. That's the truth of the fucking matter. Going back to this, silence, what it means is you have to prepare the mind for truth. You have to prepare the mind for knowledge before it is ever received. The vessel has to be prepared so there is no competing or intruding thought. This is why meditation has to be learned by the initiate. You have to learn how to silence the mind so when the truth is spoken, there's no competing fucking chatter. Quack, 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 endlessly in the fucking shit-filled head. You got to empty that. You got to be able to be silent in the mind so the wisdom can pour in and fill the fucking vessel with truth. And this is what the root of the Western mystery traditions is supposed to teach us. Now, again, there's a pure form, there's an adulterated form. But if you actually study the root of the Western mystery traditions, it's showing people the method for emptying the mind of competing thoughts to the truth and the law of creation. When you get those competing thoughts out of the mind, then the vessel can be filled with truth, which is then representative of the tree of life from which all good things grow. And people don't understand that. It's one of the main things they miss about the occult. I mean, the Norse tradition had its version, the Yggdrasil tree.
That's a whole other fucking topic of conversation. And honestly, people aren't even fucking ready for that shit.
I know.
As far as
that's why they haven't prepared the vessel for truth.
As far
they
as
haven't done the shadow work.
Life is concerned, that has not been presented in the realm since what happened. That motherfucking shit was blown to fucking shreds. Certain cultures have different portions of it, man, but it's not complete. This one.
There's always missing and fragmentary elements from every occult tradition.
I just exposed Kabbalah and Clip-Off not too long ago. I went way fucking deep. I work with that shit. I understand what you're getting at in context. That goes back to the proper foundation. But all this advanced shit, and people think they're gonna, conjure angels and fucking ascend to the fifth dimension. Here come the fucking Pleiadians and their fucking starships and shit like that. People aren't even fucking ready for that. They don't even understand how the gauge of their perception operates. And then they want to go onto all this advanced shit, or they want to go out into the galactic spiral, factor.
Yeah, spiritual bypassing. Yeah, teach me calculus before I know arithmetic.
Right.
That's what they're saying.
It's all escapism in terms of an assumption that they're transcending or advancing when really they're becoming more and more ignorant and fucking enslaved.
In the trap, in the soul trap. Yep. It's just another religion that teaches you spiritual bypass instead of following the progression of nature. They want to skip over actual attainment of knowledge and go right to some form of ascension. And it doesn't work that way. It was never meant to work that way.
Ascension, in terms of how it's being taught, is all about escapism. True ascension happens here. This is why it's so fucking difficult. This is why it's so fucking hard. This is why it's so fucking pressed up. Because these motherfuckers know that if humanity, a certain measure of humanity does wake up on the fucking level, that nothing's going to fucking stop what's coming. And I've already foreseen that. I've seen a generation that actually fucking gets it. And that's why the work that I do, the work that you do, no matter what the fucking contrast or circumstances are, what matters is that we do the work guided by core intelligence, the ignition of our templating. I knew this even getting into everything, that I was going to be misrepresented, misunderstood, fucking hated, despised. The whole measure of all the fucking bullshit. Do not quit. Do not ever fucking give up. What's on the other side of this shit is that fucking victory. And I'll say, hail victory in context. This knowledge, we're going to fucking get this, man, with One Great Work Network. I'm gauging literally everybody this year. This is why I haven't really put out a lot of content, because I'm gauging where everybody's at. All these things that we've already addressed. There's so much more that I want to fucking do. But like I was saying to you on the phone, it's going to take a certain measure of actual fucking temporal leverage to make happen. And this is what we're working to manifest here.
With how dark everything is, we're always going to feel like our efforts aren't enough. Obviously, the real warriors aren't going to do that.
It's like you were saying about temptation. You're feeling it, you're thinking it, but you're not taking action. You're processing, going through this integration, realize, oh, this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with my actual soul's intention. Let it burn.
Even the strongest among us have to realign from time to time. You go out into one battle, you get beaten up really bad, but you survive and you advance the cause, and you got to fall back for a little bit, heal, and then fucking move into another battle. That's the nature of how this works. The problem that we're experiencing is, look at how many people are off mission because they've fallen in.
And that's why there's seasons and equinoxes and solstices and all that kind of thing, so we can, we have these natural cycles that we're a part of as well as nature. And so when we act in flow of that, we have these ebbs and flows, just like nature does.
Some form of a religious mindset, and we don't have to do anything, whether it's this isn't really meant for me, this is for other people to do.
Even people going back into fucking religion.
Absolutely.
Programming is kicking up, and I'm like, what are you fucking doing, motherfucker? It's
They're running to that as a safety blanket because everything seems so bad and dark. Refuge and their solace in this fantasy story.
It's all set up like that, man.
Yep.
Because they fucking know that people are well-meaning and seeking. So they set up the institutions, all that shit.
They set up
in the outer
a million cul-de-sacs. They set up a million cul-de-sacs that you could run down. You're on the path, and then things get hard, and here's a cul-de-sac. Here's another cul-de-sac. Here's another one. It'll just keep you going around in a fucking circle. It ain't going to get you toward the goal, but people fall for it all the time. And this is the genius. It's the genius of the dark occult. If you hear me say one thing, the dark occult's entire purpose is to do nothing but create religions that act as cul-de-sacs so that you never get to the truth of natural law.
Boom.
Because you're mentally enslaved. Mental enslavement leads to physical enslavement because it always takes you off the path of morality and off the sole path of ending slavery. Do you want to know what real ascension is? Real ascension, not bullshit concept of ascension. This is real ascension of humanity.
Integration.
Humanity stops believing in authority and abolishes all externalized government. And the only form of government that exists is self-governance inside each sovereign individual. That's ascension. How far fucking off of that are we?
Right.
There's your answer spiritually. How far fucking away from real spiritual ascension are we?
You have to know thyself. You have to know the knowledge,
Correct.
The secrets of nature and the universe and how things actually fucking work in order to pull that fucking alignment and reestablish the fucking goddamn realm as it originally fucking was. Before all this fucking shit happened. Going back to the Great Betrayal. Do you know what the Great Betrayal goes back to? The fucking moment that humanity betrayed the fucking soul. And that's what everyone's been conditioned to fucking betray, Mark. Ad infinitum, like you always fucking talk about.
That's the path of Satanism. If you look at the left-hand path, it all starts with the ego out of control. The ego wanting to be God. That's the fall. What is the first fruit of the fall? The first fruit of the fall is the fruit of Eden, which is not the knowledge of the difference between good and evil. It's the arbitration of the difference between good and evil. This is what people fail to understand, that is the nature of quote-unquote original sin.
Well, you're right.
Original sin
that's
is...
their fucking narrative, man.
Yes, I know. But I'm saying what original sin really is, there's a real context for it in reality, in the human realm. And it's wanting to be the author of law. We are arbitrating the difference between good and evil instead of learning it. We are here to learn, and by learning, grow into higher states of awareness and higher states of being. Instead, we're trying to arbitrate the difference between good and evil and make it something that we can just arbitrarily say.
You think that anyone for a single fucking second is going to be able to do that if they denied their fucking soul and core intelligence?
Of course
The
not.
answer to that fucking question is a big fat fuck no.
If you know yourself, you don't try to arbitrate morality. You learn it, and then you align yourself with it, and you prosper. You achieve self-mastery, and you prosper. The original sin, quote unquote, is moral relativism. That's the second tenet of Satanism. First comes the fall, then the fruit of the fall. The fall is out of control ego. Then you get to make up what the laws are. And then moral relativism, I get to say that that's right or wrong based on my whim or preference, because fuck it, I'm God. I'm not going to learn the laws of the Creator. It's what it all is. All religion is that. All religion is ego and moral relativism. And do you know what the biggest religion that's all ego and moral relativism is? Government. Government is ego and moral relativism.
Statism is a fucking religion.
That's all it is.
What people don't
That's
fucking understand.
Its churches are the fucking Capitol buildings.
501c3, just like the fucking institutions.
Of course.
And the organizations, all designed to distract you away from actually pulling the alignment and actually remembering what the true purpose of incarnation here in this world was all about. And it
Which is to learn and grow.
Goddamn fucking slave.
It's to learn and grow and become free.
Slave, man.
To become truly free, co-creative beings. That's the purpose of our existence.
Through integration, through knowing ourselves, and
to an actual purpose and alignment that's going to educate the realm. Yep. We are here to educate the realm beyond all this fucking shit in terms of our eternal spirits.
Beyond mundane nonsense and bullshit religion that's only there to enslave us. When is the fucking community going to actually put the people that need to be in the forefront of telling people what the fucking real answers are in the forefront? When are they going to just stop propping up fucking political analysts?
That's never going to fucking happen.
They're just too fucking dumb.
Prop up in terms of controlled opposition as to get ready for your heroes to fucking fail, you motherfuckers.
Yep.
I know you're not here to be anyone's fucking hero. We're trying to teach people how to become their own fucking hero.
The highest version of themselves. That's it. Right.
And you could take that to the tarot. That's the hero's
Self-actualization and freedom is what I want for human beings. If you can't just put into words, that's like the greatest form of love there is. You don't understand the fucking definition of the word love. And this is what people don't get. They think because I'm angry at people's stupidity, laziness, apathy, and ignorance, that somehow I'm in a state of hate. I'm not in a state of hate. I'm in a state of frustration. I'm in a state of fucking rage. I'm in a state of perpetual disappointment because I thought people were better than what they are. They've acted like trash is what they've acted like. I'm not the one acting like trash. I got my fucking act together, and then I spoke the truth out into the universe. That's what a good person fucking does. You know what trash does? It says, I'm going to play it safe. I'm here for my own fucking comfort. I'm going to do what I want. Fuck teaching anybody else. That's what trash does. Trash does that. Not a good person. A good person gets their fucking act together and then tries to help other people get their act to fucking together. That's what a good person does. We should get that perfectly straight and crystal clear.
I 100% agree, man. We pretty much nailed all the fucking things that I wanted to get into.
I think what has been said is exactly what has needed to be said. Straight to people, forcefully, which is how it needs to be said. All of the correct and necessary topics have been brought up and fleshed out.
Mark, I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Well, as I said at the beginning, this is going to be a fiery one. And I hope that you take on board what's being said and spark into action so we can relieve ourselves this condition of slavery by unslaving ourselves through our thoughts and mind and taking the appropriate action. Much love. Until next time. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.